Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of My Team Career Mode. Yeah, apologies for last night. That was, just rough way to end a race. Fuel issues once again crept its way up into the end of the race, so that sucked. Which would have been a great race. We were on for a podium, possibly even the win. We were in the lead there with like 5 to go, so. Definitely unclear. We could have held on. It was definitely we could have definitely tried to anyway had we not had fuel issues. But bottom line is we had fuel issues. So but yeah. So today's a new day. We're gonna put yesterday behind us, move on. And obviously there's some potential rider days ahead, races ahead. So. And who knows? Maybe tonight at Silverstone could be one of them. So, quick recap and qualifying is pretty interesting. It's wet, obviously, because it's Silverstone. I mean, of course, it's wet, right? So, that's what this track's notorious for. Surprisingly, no rain in the race forecast anyway. But yeah, qualifying was wet the entire way through from session to session, or each qualifying session was wet. Conditions remained the same, so it was never like dry to wet or wet to dry. It was never dry. It was wet all the way through. Intermediate tires, so it wasn't like heavy rain. It was just kind of like a lightish kind of rain. The only thing that changed was there's a dry patch, right, that forms in this year's game, which is kind of cool to see. So it's one of those sessions where like it gets quicker. Your lap time starts to drop late in the session. With that said, it definitely caught some people out. Some big names. Our championship leader, Max Verstappen, got caught out, and I think he got knocked out in Q1. So I didn't see him in Q2 or Q3. Obviously Q3, but I didn't see him in Q2 either. So he must have got knocked out in Q1. I didn't even realize it at the time. I was looking at the Q2 standings, and I didn't see a bunch of cars in there that you would normally see make it through Q3. So I'm like, what on earth? So yeah, there's a lot of names that are big names starting in the back of the field. Max, Lando, Charles, I believe, guys like that. So interesting enough. And yeah, so Q3, I believe my team was the only team that had 2 drivers make it through the Q3. It was just one car each team who made it into Q3. So that was interesting. But yeah, qualifying went okay. We're going to start 6 tonight, whatever, tonight. So, and I believe Zane, we're racing as Nico tonight. Zane qualified 5th, so we're starting right next to each other, 5th and 6th. So pretty good qualifying result there for the team. Hopefully we can score some good points. Maybe fight for a podium. It might be on the cards. We'll see. I believe the Red Bull was one Red Bull ahead of us. There's a McLaren ahead of us, and I'm trying to think who else. Maybe a Ferrari. And then Alpine. So maybe we can at least fight for 4th, maybe 3rd. We'll see. George did make it through in the Mercedes into Q3. However, he must have had a stinker of a lap because he finished 10th, or qualified 10th. So we'll look for him to, obviously, I think he won a race a couple races ago, starting 12th, right? He got knocked out of Q2. And he still won the race. So look for him to make his way through the field, I'm sure, from 10th. So that's what I'm saying. Like maybe a podium might be a little out of reach, but we'll fight for it, all the same. So, and obviously try not to have any fuel problems. That is the goal. So with that said, let's get into the race. Here we go.
We meet again at Silverstone for one of the great Formula One races of the entire calendar. With a barely believable capacity crowd creating a phenomenal atmosphere, it is time for a race that puts a smile on your face. It is time for the British Grand Prix. Let's have a look at the circuit. 18 corners, 3.6 miles. The DRS detection zones are at Village and Maggots, that's turn 3 and turn 11. Cops Corner, turn 9 is taken as near to flat out as you dare. It is a test of the driver's bravery out there. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Maloney, Nico Hulkenberg and Behrman, Stroll, Bortoletto, Russell and Jack Doohan, Crawford, Aaron, Pierre Gasly and Lawson, Albon, Pepe Marti, Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Isaac Hadjar, Leclerc, Colapinto, Norris and Max Verstappen completes the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. Well, we welcome you to the broadcast. It's going to be some race today. First of all, introductions. I'm Alex Jakes. Alongside me for this one, Anthony Davidson. Well, this is the most advanced sport anywhere on the planet. How's it changed since you were last racing?
The cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance, but because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Okay, so there you have it. You have Max and Lando starting dead last. Wow. I'm sure they'll make their way through the field and catch up to us in no time, because considering how good their cars are. So, they won't be in the back for very long. But yeah, it looks like we gained a spot with Lawson's penalty. So we are starting 1 place higher, both Zane and I. So that's awesome. So we'll see what happens. Race strategy. Here we go. And they want to do soft to hard. I don't like that. I want to go medium to hard. I don't think softs are the play at Silverstone. Tire wear is pretty high here. So we're going to go with the personalized strategy here, medium to hard tire. And once again, fuel load. I'm going to go 2 laps. I think I did, I don't know how much I did last time. Maybe 1.5 extra. I'm going to do 45.5 kilos. Hope to God we don't have any fuel problems. Please, just done with that, please. Okay, thank you. There we go. All right. Gloves are coming on. Let's get this race underway, shall we? All right, here we go. Gloves on. Seat adjusted. Let's start this thing. Here we go. It's a cloudy day in sunny Silverstone. We got some soft tires up there. Red Bull and Ferrari on the soft. Interesting strategy there. I like that though. I like different tire compounds, different strategies. laps of everyone on the same tire. Kind of gets a little boring, you know? So that's good. A little mix up there. I can't tell what Carlos has on. Maybe soft as well. But I'm glad to see Zane on the mediums. I wish we could pick his strategy too. Like, I don't, like, maybe that's something they need to add. I don't think an add to this game, or at least add to next year's game, is give us the ability to, you know, pick, even though we're driving as one driver, right? We have to pick a driver to drive as per weekend, but if we're the team owner, I'd like to be able to determine the strategy for both our cars. So
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid is formed. Be ready with the clutch.
all right, here we go. We better start this time too. Not bad.
Now use the OS. The OS now available.
I was going to block the inside. He's not a teammate, so he shouldn't make it too hard for me.
concerns at the moment.
It's probably George behind me, isn't it? Sure is. I knew it. Mercedes too fast, man. Nothing I can do about it. You want to go too wide through here, dude? Huh? I guess he did. I guess he did.
box for coming in this lap. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on the distance and speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't slip.
Ooh, hopefully I got that right.
Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the
Whoa.
end now.
Whoa, damn. That was close.
Zane's in the pit. Zane's in the pit. Albon for you. They're retiring from the race. Caution, caution. Okay, be aware, there's an incident
Whoa. Just fell asleep there. Turning into quite the boring race, except for we'll have company here, I'm sure, by the end of it. Oh my god. Okay. That's not good. Like Lando all the way from last place. Rocket ship.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Sure, Max isn't too far behind these two. It's Kimmy and Lando. Maybe I can defend with DRS. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so 1 second of the car ahead. Get ready to use DRS for the exit.
Whoa, Jesus, man. Damn it. Terrible exit. Oh. Yep, there's Max. Touchdown back marker. Bruh, really? Dude. Wow. Well, at least you kind of screwed them over too. That, wow. I should penalty for that. Knocked me out of DRS range. Lando. But so did knock them out of my DRS too, so. Look at that, we had 3/4 extra fuel. Wild. Not bad.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
Thank you. Good job.
He'd won a sprint before, but now it's time for Grand Prix success. Oscar Piastri takes the win.
To do it as a team on home soil, that really means something special, and you can see how much it means to them, the drivers involved as well. Great job by them today, of course, as always, but for the fans,
George got second, huh? Wow.
Great display of teamwork here today.
10th to second.
It has been a day of drama, so much to unpack, but first of all, the rewards for the top three. And how about this for our winner today, Oscar Piastri.
Oscar Piastri's first win with Red Bull.
Been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
$127.0. Yeah, I mean, Oscar 126.1, 126.3. Carlos 126. We're close to the McLaren and the Ferrari. It's just, yeah, Red Bull. Red Bull's too quick. 126.4 for Max. But yeah, I mean, we're faster than everyone else. Just Red Bull's a step ahead. Mercedes, or at least George is a step ahead in the Mercedes. Kimi's obviously still not rated highly enough to be faster than us in a Mercedes, which is the car itself is faster than our car, of course. But yeah, 127.0 about the same time as us. So yeah, I mean, honestly, I mean, the McLaren, I would say, okay, so definitely Red Bull's the fastest car. Mercedes right there, George anyway, so it's 1, 2, 3. McLaren are slightly faster than us, so that's 2 spots right there. And then Ferrari are just pretty equal, I would say, with us. I think we're right there with Ferrari. I mean, it's tight with Ferrari, but that's a lot of that's a lot of cars yet. We're just not quite there with podium yet. Ooh, good. Fan bonuses gained. Oh, man.
Hey, me again. Got another question for you.
It's me again. What we got? Marketing has evaluated our social media presence and proposed two strategies. Their full-scale expansions comes at a high cost. Yeah. High costs. Got money to spend, let's spend it. Alright, how we doing resource points wise? Not great. Let's definitely develop that part before Spa. That'd be nice. What else can we get on the car before Spa? So we're maxed out there. Still need the ultimate downforce. We've got that maxed out now. I guess we'll do some tire wear. Maybe? Or unless we want ERS. Let's do tire wear, I guess. Oh, I don't know why we're doing this. Should be chassis, right? There we go.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got any...
What up, Nico? Take a seat. We want you on the team for next year. What do you say? What do you say, huh? What do you say? 80% chance to sign. Sounds good to me, my dude. Like that. One day. Cool.
A sponsor is interested in backing our team.
Sweet. Be Boas. Okay. Oh no. Closing the gap. Slowly but surely, but still on par with Aston and Williams, and closer and closer to Ferrari and top 14. They're still quite a ways ahead. Man, what happened to Zane? He qualified ahead of us and finished 16th. That's fortunate. His parts aren't too bad. I wonder what happened to him. I mean, there were a lot of cars, good cars behind, of course, but
Hey, Chief. We've finished developing a part, and it's now ready for fitting. Make sure to stop by the Assign Upgrade screen when you get the chance.
great result with this one. Here's the latest.
Sweet. And rating up. We like that. Cool. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video, or this video, stream, whatever you want to call it. We will pick up tomorrow night at Spa. We always love Spa, so should be a fun one. We got some upgrades coming into the car, and we're still going to be not quite. Yeah, where's the? I'm not sure when I went with a rivalry yet. we're not really close to anybody, I guess, in the standings. I mean, Williams, but they're like 30 points behind us. And then Ferrari are too far ahead. So we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. We're in the middle of no man's land at the moment in the standings. Yeah, we're not really competing with the 4 teams ahead of us, and we don't have a problem beating the 6 teams behind us. So yeah, it's kind of no man's land at the moment. But yeah, sitting pretty in 5th. That's probably where we're gonna finish. I think that's where we finished last year, didn't we? Here we go, season 1. Wish you would tell me what. So what races did we podium last year? So not gonna tell me. Hold on, I'm gonna have to do. I know we podium a few races last year. Let's see, Spa was one of them. Monza and Brazil. So 3 podiums last year. And they're all 3 races coming up. Or this our best finish is the one coming up at Spa. So interesting. I don't know why trophies. That's weird. Trophies seem to be bugged. Because that, yeah, not right. Yeah, I don't know why it should let you view the standings, but well, so it lets you do. Hold on, show sprint. Oh, doesn't even show the sprint. Good. Yep, I gotta fix that, and this too, also bugged. Oh, whoops, what did it say? Qualifying has been great to watch. Oh, positive where the car is, true. The races, yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Pole position 1. Where's the is it here probably? Is it progress history? Look at that, Mercedes took a huge step. That doesn't even show the standings there either. Weird. Where's the, is it sign of grids? Yeah, here we go. So wow, McLaren up top now. McLaren has moved. I mean, I think they're just maxed out. I think McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes are maxed out. Ferrari's not quite maxed out yet, so we're close to Ferrari. But yeah, we're still even with Aston, Williams, slightly ahead of Alpine. Kicks Sauber way behind. So, but yeah, I would assume that means McLaren, Red Bull, and Mercedes are maxed out their car. Yeah, definitely need a regulation change at the end of the season. hopefully with the decreased thing, whatever you want to call it, on everybody will help with that. Career settings reduced, resource, cash, everything. Hopefully that evens the field after the after a regulation change. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. All right. Anyways, for real now, that's gonna do it for this episode. Catch you tomorrow night for Spa. Till then, peace out.